Today we're going to be looking at these SimSonn pedals, which you can buy from AliExpress. And yeah, these pedals here have definitely taken a lot of inspiration from these pedals over here. And these two always get argued about online. Just buy yourself a pair of using belt sprints, or someone says, why would I buy the using belt sprints if I can pay $150 for the SimSonn pedals? Well, guess what? These pedals here are from
China.
And because these are from
China,
you are getting more value for money. At the cost of what? Let's find out.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up.
Hello, welcome to another video. I've got a good one for you today. Look at this, the SimSonn pedals, and these ones are the black ones. The ones I think look absolutely wonderful. Look at them, wow. Anyway, these pedals were very kindly provided to me by SimSonn themselves to make this review for you. These pedals start at around $150 for this brake and this throttle. I mean, wow, for a 200 kilogram load cell pedal. And then it goes up, if you want to add the clutch and let's say this base plate, it goes up to about $290. And delivery is free. So yeah, maybe just the cherry on top. Let's have a closer look. I say it all the time, what I think is wow, and looks absolutely phenomenal. You might not like, you might be like, it's not for me. Looks are subjective. This is just my opinion on these set of pedals. I think SimSonn has made an absolute fantastic looking set of pedals. I mean, I would go as far as to say these are probably the nicest looking pedals that I have had on my rig. Yes, I would go that far. I think the black in my black rig just looks absolutely amazing. I mean, it just looks and especially with this whole black heel plate and everything, it just looks absolutely fantastic. Now you do have some branding here in the front and here on the pedal faces, but overall I think this presents absolutely fantastic. Now they do have a variant in this that is silver, if you prefer silver. Now I look at the silver version of this again and I think, for me, that doesn't look as great. You know, there's just silver and not much color to it. And I just feel sometimes, you know, it looks very industrial when you buy these in silver. So this black version is definitely up my street. And I think they've made a very good looking set of pedals, which will appeal to a lot of you watching here. I mean, if you look at the B-roll, yeah, these things, they look fire. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Build quality. Yes, you have bought this set of pedals and you've paid a bargain price. And because these pedals are, help me a bit, Donald,
comes from China.
Obviously, build quality is a big concern. However, I've looked through a bunch of reviews on these, and in my own personal experience, I've not found anything that I can see will be a problem in the near future. I think this is a very well made set of pedals. Everything is made out of 3mm thick steel, so it is solid. There's no movement in these pedals. Look here. No side to side, no lateral or movement, even pushing down on the brake, or everything is stiff and you know, just very well put together. The only thing that I can say, in my opinion, when it comes to build quality that's a little bit of a letdown is the elastomers that they provide you in the kit. Now these elastomers here are the ones that come pre-fitted on your brake, and yeah, they're okay, but I would say most people will probably end up switching to the black ones, which are the stiffest of them. These white ones here, I mean, these are absolutely ridiculous. I've used condoms in the past that have more, you know, that's been stiffer and thicker than these elastomers. I mean, if you see me, look at that. Yeah, definitely, I would say everybody would probably throw these in the bin. It would not surprise me after a couple of months that these would actually start to rip and tear. This is probably the one area of this set of pedals which I think can do with a bit of improvement. However, if you take the cost of a set of pedals, you know, elastomers, a good set of elastomers will set you back a good 50 euros on their own. Yeah, I can understand why the kit comes with these cheaper ones, but if you are considering these pedals, I would say it's probably the first thing that I would personally mod and change on the set of pedals. When I'm comparing it to the Using Dot Sprints, I can definitely tell that is an area where it's the biggest compromise and the biggest difference between these two set of pedals, in my opinion, is the elastomers and the springs. So yeah, if you upgrade those, I think, wow, you're gonna have an absolute smashing set of pedals here. And yeah, overall, like I said, when it comes to things breaking or anything like that, I can't see any of that happening. Now, mounting these pedals, you can do it in a few different ways. If you've opted, like myself here, for the pedal plate, then you're just going to attach all your pedals onto this pedal plate, and then you are attaching it to your rig. Like I mentioned before, remember the screws at the bottom do stick out, so it's not a flat surface. You are going to need something, a spacer, to put in between your pedal rack and your rig, most likely. Yeah, other than that, if you don't buy the pedal rack, it's very nice to have these pedals separated like these. And I love the fact that you can move these about, because you can put these wherever you want it. I myself, I love my brake and my accelerator quite far apart from one another. I do not do a lot of heel and toe braking and racing. So if I can give you an example, one of the things, these are my favorite set of pedals. This is the APPRICIATED Invicta pedals, and if you can see here, I've actually moved my pedal faces as far away as I possibly can. But that is it. I'm at the limit. I can't move this brake even more so. Now, APPRICIATED has not recently, but they have got a split version now. And that comes with some benefits, and those benefits will be the exact same here. It means you can push this throttle and this brake further apart from one another, like it would be in a Formula 1 car or open wheeler cars. And I just find it so much more comfortable for myself using when, you know, my feet are just going straight and extended and I'm not pointing them inwards. This will obviously not be the case for everybody, but it is nice to see that on these pedals they come loose with these big elongated holes here, so you can move these forwards, backwards, and yeah, you can just set them up very, very easily on your rig. Other than that, there's a load of other adjustments you can make on these pedals. If I turn these around here, so this spring here, you can see with this bolt here, you can move that down, and that affects the resistance, whether you want it softer or harder. Same here with the travel. If you want to travel shorter, you're going to move this, and it's the same on every single pedal. They've got this rod over there, which I will show you, and you can move this, and that will restrict this pedal from going any further. And yeah, also, like I mentioned before, you've got this nice rubber surrounded there, so it's not metal on metal, it's actually nice and soft, which is fantastic. Other than that, you can undo these bolts here, and the whole pedal moves up and down if you want to adjust the angle. You have 5 different height adjustments available to you. Now onto the brake. To change your elastomers, first undo your preload. You'll see here this bar gets in the way. It's a bit annoying. I wish you didn't need to do this, but you have to take out these 2 screws on the side, and then very easy, you just lift out the whole rod and you will start to remove your elastomers one by one, as you see. Easy peasy. On to putting them back in. Same way in. Remember your washers, put in your spring, and then again just do exactly the same but in reverse. Put down your thing, click it in, do your preload nice and tight till it's firm, put back your 2 rods, and simsalabim, you're ready to go. And you can do all this while it's mounted onto the rig. Now, 2 things I do want to point out. The pedal faces aren't adjustable. You can't move them up and down or sideways or anything like that. The way you see them mounted is the way they're going to be staying. The other thing is, you can see here some of the paint coming off from where I've made adjustments to my pedals. Now, this is not very noticeable, especially when you're looking at the pedals head on, and you really need to get close to the pedals to actually notice any of those paint chippings coming off, but it's just something I wanted to point out. But yeah, I can definitely say when it comes to adjustability, I don't think you're going to be short of any. You can make these pedals fit your rig just the way you want it. Even if you want to mount these upside down, there should be no problem whatsoever. You can do so, and that is a nice, fantastic thing, and I would say a big selling point on these SimSonn pedals as well. I've been using these pedals for about 3 weeks now. What can I tell you about them? Are they little quirks? Yes, a couple. Let's start here with this big faceplate on this throttle. Sometimes I find when I'm driving with socks, this is a very slippery surface, and that is even more so emphasized by this heel plate I've got over here. That's also, it's very smooth, and I find my socks slip on this very, very easily, probably more easily than what I would like. So when I'm running shoes, I can definitely tell that the rubber on the soles of my shoes grip onto this faceplates of these very, very well. But when I am driving with socks, I can definitely tell my feet do slip a little bit. In particular, the throttle. I don't know why. You would think on the brake pedal that you're pushing a lot harder, you know, that your foot would slip off that. But I didn't really have any issues on the brake, you know, regarding my foot slipping off. Other than that, the throttle itself, out of a box, is a little bit stiff for my opinion, but I made some small adjustments, and yeah, it performs really, really well. Even when I want to be as, you know, just moderate my throttle inputs, and I try and be as sensitive and careful as I can, it translates very, very well in the simulator. And I can tell, it doesn't matter the situation or the car you're going to be driving, you can be very, very buttery smooth with this throttle, which is a very good thing. And the throttle also feels to me very nice, and I think it's this gas damper. Now these don't cost you a lot of money. They like $10 to add them to the kit, so I think the clutch feels great. And yeah, it definitely, when you are pushing down on it, that slip up there, it makes it feel like there's a slight bit of a bite point. I personally would have wanted that feeling to be emphasized a little bit more. I have used other clutch pedals where when I push down on it, in my opinion, they definitely feel a little bit more like a clutch. Onto the brake. Now the brake, definitely, if you see these white elastomers, don't even put them in here. Unless you've got a 3-year-old or something you want to, you know, let use these pedals. I think they're just no good. And you can tell here from my brake curve, it's definitely, you can do some braking. It's not that you can't use it, but I just don't, you can definitely see there's a big improvement whenever you're going onto your stiffer elastomers. My brake telemetry is definitely a lot less jaggy and more smooth whenever you are using your stiffer elastomers, and that's what you want. Other than that, I've got no problems with the brake. The brake feels nice and stiff from the outset. There's no play in it, and it feels very, very nice. It actually feels, you know, like a brake. So since these SimSonn pedals have been heavily inspired, I'm saying inspired, by these Usingveld sprints that you see over here, I thought it's only the best thing to do is to put these up head against head. And I had both the brake pedals mounted, as you can see here, right next to one another. And I'll show you some of the curves. And honestly, it has really, really surprised me. This brake pedal here actually performed astonishingly well. If you consider that this whole ensemble, a clutch pedal, throttle, brake, the base plate, all of this cost about 3 times cheaper than what it costs to buy yourself a set of Usingveld sprints. So that is obviously the main selling point of these pedals. Now, let's just get something 100% straight here. When I was doing both, and you really go into the finer details and the finer feeling of how things feel, I still think the sprints, even though it's only got a 65 kilogram load cell, I still think it's a slight bit better. I would say it edges it. But these here does 95% of what this does for literally 30% of the price, maybe even 25% of the price. The brake now, I'll show you the curves. You can, I mean, I did do about 10 laps in each one on each brake, and I took my best curve. So keep that in mind. I don't brake every single corner this nicely. My trail braking, I took the best one out of like a 10 lap, and I put the best against the best. And you can see there's a slight more smoother in the Usingveld sprints. However, I mean, these are definitely not not to be shunned. These are amazing, amazing pedals for the job. And I actually think that it's the elastomers. If you look and have a closer look at the elastomers in the back, I'll give you a shot here. That is where I personally see the biggest difference in quality in these two products. I think if you actually go and spend a little bit of money and modding these SimSonn pedals, I think you can get to 98%, 96, 97% of what the using well sprints are. And with a 200 kilogram load cell, definitely 100%. I wish that pedals like these were available when I started sim racing, because it really is an affordable way to get good performance. My conclusion, what do I think about these SimSonn pedals? Listen, they definitely surprised me. You know, that's the best way I can put it. And the way I can say it, these definitely punch above their weight. If you're looking what you're paying for these pedals, you're getting this absolute rock solid. I mean, this thing is heavy. 3mm thick steel set of pedals, which I can tell you now is going to last you ages. Yes, there's some improvements that can be made. I do think that SimSonn can add some spaces which will make this mounting these pedals, especially when you opted for the pedal plate, a lot easier. And then also, I think the clutch itself can feel a little bit more like a clutch. However, that might just be my subjective opinion. It still performs fantastically there as a clutch. And yeah, I think they've made a great set of pedals. And do you know what? Reviews do not lie. Go and look at the reviews on AliExpress for these pedals. It's not some random guy sitting there making generic, reviews. You can spot them a mile off. There's photos of people having these on their rigs, and you can definitely see everybody has the same opinion about these pedals, that they are fantastic for the money. Value for money. So that is a thing I want you to take away from my conclusion. If I were to start today and I want to build a racing simulator and spend less than, let's say, $1,000, these would be at the top of my shopping list when I'm looking at pedals. Yeah, you're gonna look long and hard to find a 200 kilogram load cell brake. Pedals that are made this solidly and pay less. I don't think you're gonna find that, not in any of the big name brands anyway. I could definitely recommend this product to you if you're looking for load cell pedals. I could definitely recommend them to you. As always, guys, I thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this video, please consider just giving it a like and helping me send it out to other sim racers like yourself. Consider subscribing if you want to be up to date with some of the latest gear. I've actually got another 2 set of pedals coming in here my way, so I'm looking forward to that. And as always, I hope your next race, your next one, is a winner. Hallelujah.